Stephanie gave me only 1 minute, she says, then it's my turn. So we have to speed up, fasten the seatbelts. There's a lot of information coming through. Thank you, John, for your stimulating speech on the vision where we're going. For me, it's sort of giving it sort of how we will get there, and what are the plans on the GCDC and around it. So some road mapping. If you talk about road mapping, there are many road maps with respect to cooperative driving. And they're all valid with their own point of view. Some of them are onboard units, roadside units, back offices, technological point of view, industrial point of view, governmental point of view, some of penetration, all of mobility, corporate driving, many roadmaps. But we need a roadmap for corporate driving, we need a roadmap for GCDC because it plays a role in the whole thing of corporate driving. John already showed this, so I can make some speed here. But essential here is, if you look at roadmaps, if you look for 5 generations, we're not looking at autonomous driving. So if we're not focusing on autonomous driving. Neither are we focusing on autonomous in-vehicle systems. We're talking about a cooperation, and how do we get there? How do we get this deployed as quick as possible? So, and neither are we looking for the whole mobility problem. We're looking for corporate systems and their part in the whole thing. Another focal point is what Jan Willem already mentioned, is the problem that we have in the Netherlands is traffic congestion. So that's sort of a focal point that we initially like to address within the GCDC. Because once you address that, you can also look for environmental and safety issues. You have to incorporate that. Once you look at this complex problem, and that's what it is. We're looking in the Netherlands, and if you look at traffic jams, 80% of traffic jams is due to capacity problems. So too many cars for too little roads. And many of them happen, it seems like a complex picture, but it isn't. If you look at intensity, so how many cars are on the road, you look at the average speed, you see at one point it just drops down. So you've got an average speed here, and then at one point it just drops down. What happens once you tend to get to sort of the maximum capacity of a road? Many car users just tend to get very close to its predecessor. Time to collisions, a second or less. That's okay. But if your predecessor decides to brake, you have to brake very quick and very hard because you know you're very close at a critical distance. If you brake hard, your follower will brake hard, and what will happen is what we call sort of a ghost traffic jam. A traffic jam where you're in, and at one point it just dissolves. You're out of it. We've got a lot of those issues, a lot of those things that happen. So if we want to solve something within the Dutch highways, on the highways, and you want to solve someone on a congestion, you have to increase the capacity of the roads. So not building roads, not taking other routes or pay-as-you-drive type systems, but if you're on the road, how can you increase the number of cars on the road with a high speed? So you have to increase capacity. So you have to increase that this line goes to the right. A higher intensity, more cars on the road without this breaking up. So without the ghost traffic jams starting up, building up soon. Another thing, once they do start up, you'll get sort of this shock wave that goes through the traffic jam. Once you can, and once they do happen, and you're still here, they do happen, can you damp them? So can you use systems to damp that shock wave so you can still move forward at a reasonable speed? What we also see is that most of these traffic jams result due to lane changes. So can you help the car users by these lane changes so these capacity drops don't happen? In the end, you will have traffic jams. How can you solve this traffic jam as soon as possible? How can you accelerate all these cars as soon as possible out of the traffic jam so the capacity will become free again? That's sort of what we're looking at initially. It's very easy to do it. You only have to do 2 things: adjust speed and help maneuvering. Adjust speed on the road condition, traffic condition. Adjust speed on speed limits, or what your predecessor was doing, ACC type system, what John was talking about already. Or a maneuver is, where am I, where are others, and can I make a move. Sort of blocks of technology are already being developed, where sort of the holy grail we're talking about is CACC, Corporate Adaptive Cruise Control. That's sort of what we're looking at. If you put it in another picture, we're looking into that. Corporate Adaptive Cruise Control. Essentially what you need of that is total information of all car users on the road in real time and faster, so you can adjust what you're doing. And in the end you will go to, in the end, autonomous driving. So you need information and communication. But to get there, not all cars will have the systems. So you need information. And as being mentioned by Epidemic, so you need infrastructure to provide information about cars that don't have systems and communicate with them. But there's another reason for an infrastructure, for roadside infrastructure with information and communication. That's the roadside authorities. Because they have to come a long way to giving up their full control that they have now up towards a system, up towards a situation where systems decide what speed all cars will have. They will not give up that control that easily. They have to evolve there. They have to take steps to get there. They have to be able to see, okay, what's happening is safe, will provide solving traffic jams, etc. So they need information from the cars towards the traffic control center, etc., etc. So that's the roadside authorities. The other group that's very important is the car users. We, as car owners, we don't just accept systems that will brake, accelerate, and make maneuvers. There's also an evolution. An evolution that we get information, that we are informed, that we are given advice, in the end till the technology will take over. That will take a time, that will take an evolution of all these technologies that we have. And in the end, all these blocks will have an evolution. You will get to the full-scale corporate driving, corporate adaptive cruise control. You can put dates on it, but they don't have a value. Because if I put a date to it, it's a different date than you will put to it. Because it might be when technology is ready for everybody, or just a roadside unit, or just me as a car manufacturer, or when a penetration is, or when a certain effect has been happening. So all the dates will have a different meaning to everybody. So putting dates out is very dangerous. But the thing that we do want to happen is acceleration of deployment of corporate systems. So it doesn't matter if they're somewhere 2020. What we want is that it's quicker, sooner than 2020. That's what we're here for. That's on the technological side. We want to do the ground corporate driving job.